Listening to that conversation is Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who joins us now for his reaction. Minister, the number of people dead, it is alarming. At this hour, we are talking about 44 bodies. Let's get your reaction to that, please.
A death of any human being, I'm talking about one human being, under any circumstance, is a sad story, is a sad issue. And it always comes to you who get to know that, whether that could have been prevented and how it could have been, and you wish and you pray that such wouldn't have happened. And therefore I'm saying what we are witnessing there, it's something we all wish as South Africans and as government and in the Department of Police that it didn't happen.
The number of people that have been coming out at the same time, those who are alive, Minister, I think your own statistics, if I read that statement correctly, it says there's about 118. Were these people coming out voluntarily?
Ever since Operation Valumkoti started in November, beginning of December 2023, the large majority of people who have come out from underground are people who have voluntarily come out of their own, followed by those who have been assisted to come out. Now, the number that are being assisted now via this professional assistance is fast increasing and is, if not already, overtaking the number of those that were assisted via the rope. And so it's methods that when last we went there, we agreed on that let's allow the rope to assist. At that time, there were only 11 people that had been assisted, which has now risen to 41 assisted through the rope, which you appreciate from the community and those stakeholders. But we knew all the time that it was a risky affair. We knew that it wouldn't suffice in terms of the estimates that we ourselves had. And we needed something of a faster pace.
Yeah.
But let me go to some of the comments.
Before you go there, Minister, before you go there, I'm sorry to cut in. Based on what you have just said, that people are coming out voluntarily, do you think there's a need, therefore, to change the tone from government that says the people that are underground, that have been underground in Stilfontein, do not want to come out, and therefore government is unwilling to assist in that regard?
We have never, ever been unwilling to assist. And I think I need to straighten that record. There is no way we would have repeatedly gone there, spoke about this, and even the design of Operation Valumkoti never precluded or suggested, directly or indirectly, that government is unwilling to assist people to go out.
Minister
that has never
Mchunu,
been the
Minister
Yes.
Mchunu, I'm sorry to again interject. I think the country will remember the words of Minister Khumbudzo Ntshavheni that we're not going to help people who went underground to conduct criminality. If anything, we are going to, quote unquote, smoke them out. Was that not a government tone that said we are unwilling to help?
What happened after that statement, I think a day after the statement, is that I was coincidentally scheduled as Minister of Police, together with Deputy Ministers of Police and the leadership of police, we were scheduled to go to Stilfontein to make an assessment, to evaluate what is happening and to see whether there is anything that we need to intervene on or change. Now, we were the only people who have been able to go there, or who were able to go there physically and engaged with all the stakeholders there physically. And we went to the site physically. The statement that we made after that is a statement, the statements that we've been consistent in terms of making. So let's not assume that just because a statement was made, it therefore was or is a statement that was from the collective of government, as it were. But even after it had been made, the statements that we've made after that, after concretely looking at the situation, were not along those lines. We were saying, let us collaborate, let us work together. And as a matter of fact, we agreed on 3 methods. One method, allow people to go out voluntarily via Margaret Shaft, and then use the rope, continue to use the rope, risky as it is. And then the third, we will be looking for professional assistance in terms of assisting people. That must have cleared everything in South Africa where government stood on the matter, and this is where government stands even now.
When you say, Minister, the words that we will smoke them out was not a collective tone from government, are you saying here tonight that you regret the use of that language by your fellow minister?
Look, I'm saying that statement was made before anyone went to the ground and concretely got facts from the ground and understood the situation concretely. And after that, we made statements that we made, and they're on record. And we are saying at this point, let's not go back to that statement. Let us focus on what is being said now and what we are doing now. That's what we're saying.
All right. So let's focus on the here and now then. The approach going forward is that the operation at the mine is going to go well into the night, at least this evening. The suggestions have been made, Minister Mchunu, that there are about 109 bodies underground. Are you able to confirm that here tonight, or you are simply going to allow the operations to unfold up until whatever figure results?
There are many figures that have been touted, whether it's on the people who are said to be underground or remaining underground or deceased underground. We've been getting different numbers from those who have come out in drips and drabs as it has happened. But none of them have confirmed to the country that we have counted throughout throughout the openings underground. And therefore, those figures are unreliable. It's just like the number of people who are there and are remaining there, because no one ever counted the number of people as they were going down at the time that they went down. And currently, there's no one who is confirming to us that I have, or all the people who are deceased have been collected and they've been lined down there, and I have counted them. They say, no, I just looked at, and then I think it is, so I'm avoiding confirming anything that has never been counted properly at this stage. But as you say, the operation is quite comprehensive. it has a capacity or a mechanism to see whatever they can see as far as they can see. But we also get stories from those that are coming out in terms of what they see, any deceased people, but there are also people who are assisting others to get into the lift there. They also talk about what they are seeing.
Yeah.
And then we get to work as and when what information we collect from underground.
Minister Mchunu, I'm going to ask for your indulgence tonight. As I take a break, I'm going to ask you to please stay on. But before we do that, I must just inform you that the figure has now risen from 44. 7 more bodies have been pulled out, and that then gives us a total figure of dead people there at number 51. 51 people have now died. We're going to continue the conversation because you wanted to also respond to some of what SERI, the organization SERI, has had to say. Let's take a break, and when we return, the minister will get to react to some of what was said in our earlier conversation. Stay with us. You're watching News at Prime. If you're just joining us, we are discussing the Stilfontein humanitarian crisis. In conversation with us is the Police Minister, Senzo Mchunu. Minister, thanks again for staying with us. Let's quickly deal with the people that are being brought out. Weak or not, are they being arrested? And if so, what charges are preferred on them?
The people that are coming out are indeed processed by health services. EMS is there. They're also processed by Home Affairs, that is immigration officials. They're also processed by police. And finally, they will go through the justice system of the country with relevant charges. So first, they are checked on their health status or health situation. Those that require assistance, they are assisted accordingly. And those that can be processed further, that is what gets done. And so it is going to go like that because those people who are there are illegal minors, which is a crime in South Africa. And therefore, we need all the details. There are details where they come from, and therefore, there are specific charges. Basically, the charges would range from unlawfully getting into South Africa, and that will include also involvement in illegal mining in South Africa and in Stilfontein in this instance.
The kingpins, Minister, that's the so-called kingpins. There's a strong view that police cannot be the ones who take accountability. The people who are also being blamed for what Makua is saying is starvation that is now resulting at Stilfontein, they are saying that those are the people who have deprived others of food. What is your standpoint on that? Do you believe that there are kingpins? And if there are, how close are you to arresting them?
The first matter, Kobe, respecting your questions, is that there are people who come from underground who allege that they were misled into believing that when they were recruited, there was just a job somewhere. They were not told the nature of the job and where it is. They only found out when they got there, which means that they were recruited under false pretenses and amounting to illegality. That the second one is this allegation of coercion, that even if you want to go, you need to seek permission, you are under duress, you have to be there unless you get permission. The third allegation that has come out consistently is that whatever food that would have gone down, it doesn't land in your hands and in your stomach. It gets to the so-called kingpins that you're talking about, and it gets apportioned in whatever way, resulting, in fact, there's a fourth one that says that it is sold. Food and even water gets sold to those who need food and water. So those are atrocities. Those are issues that are part of what should be discussed in terms of in the basket of what constitute humanitarian concerns right underground. And unfortunately, the focus seems to have been what police, what this, and the truth of the matter is this. The package that I'm talking about is number one. But number two is that these matters, let me just take the two in particular. The supply of food and other things underground. When police made an investigation at some point after August, they found a lot of things. Your generators, they found petrol, they found Heineken, they found food of various kinds down there. And therefore, if you say, when police became aware of this, they said, by the way, we need to ascertain what gets underground, because clearly, based on evidence, it's not just food that goes down. There are other things that don't qualify for such, and they started screening that. And even on food itself, we needed to do a very intricate balance. What is that balance? This is by police. They had to say, if you allow kilograms and kilograms of meal, for instance, to go down, and lots of bread to go down, what would be the actual meaning of that? It would mean that you are saying, let all of these things be used. Firstly, ignore whatever is alleged as atrocities underground, but in the main, keep these people with all these things there, while you are calling for their need to be assisted to go out at the same time. So you needed to balance that. Now, I want to point this thing out. If a person says to you, when it comes down, I got in February 2024, and is saying this in September, how on earth would that person have been surviving if police were not humanitarian enough to say, even if you can't allow tons and tons of food to go down, but those people need to be kept surviving.
Yeah.
They need to survive. So allow what could make them alive, keep them alive, while we call on them and assist them to come out. Nobody's mentioning that. People talk like, I know that we're in a situation of tension, there's a problem, and there are bound to be emotions. And by the way, expression of emotions in South Africa is not illegal, it's not crime, it's allowed. Even anger, even criticism, not indirectly, directly to the minister or to ministers and to government. We allow that. We are free of that. We are fine with that because we are learning something out of that.
Okay.
But what we have a problem with is when people lie, when people make statements that are untruthful, and they select statements and leave others. There have been children there, 27 of them, who have been found there and have been processed and taken to their homes. Is that inhumane? Is that so? We have gone to court. Why did we go to court? It's because in preparing papers, those who have taken government to court, they included things that needed to be corrected as a matter of record by government in South Africa.
Yeah.
And it was not so much that because They wanted people to be treated better, and we wanted people not to be. Remember, police arrest criminals on a daily basis. Now, when you get arrested and in the process you get injured for one reason or the other, there's no TV there, there's nobody who teach police. Police on their own, as a matter of procedure, they take you to hospital or to a clinic, and Minister, they assist you to, they even arrest you while you are in hospital. So this projection of government and police as needing to be taken to court in order for them to be humanitarian is not accurate.
Okay.
And I think we need to avoid them so that we ourselves be able to say there is a problem, there are many views, but we have one objective.
Final question, Minister, and very briefly, please, I need to end this conversation. So your response tonight to the key accusation here, that the police are partly responsible for what is now being said to be a massacre that's unfolded there.
Yes, thank you very much for that question. I want to answer it this way. When a group of people commit unlawfulness in a house and they lock themselves there, or they even hold people hostage in a house, police go there. They will shout to you to come out, lie down, and so on. If you resist and you don't do that, you don't come out, in some circumstances, they even shoot police, as it happens. Police will shoot back. When, after that fight, confrontation, or whatever force that police will be forced to use, what happens at the end? You don't go to police and say, for the people who lost their lives in that confrontation, police are to blame. You don't say so. So what has happened there is something that no one would have wanted. That people from different countries, and including in South Africa, would go underground. They have nevertheless done so because of a number of factors.
Yeah.
Accept that. But once there is breach of the law, police have to act on that.
Okay.
Now, when they act in line with the law, they act in line with the law, and then people in the process lose their lives. You can't come around and say they are to blame because you will have to extend the net. Because these are people who, when they're voluntarily on their own, what about that? They were kept, in some cases, even if they wanted to go out, they were kept by others by force. What do you do? What do you say about that? And therefore, I think the situation is a sensitive one. It's an emotional one. But let's not just play emotions. Let's address the questions as we are doing at the moment.
The Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, thank you very much for your time tonight.